gang, welcome back to the channel. Been a while since I've been on. Oh, there's a last resort there on the left. Thanks for tuning back in. Gonna go for a ride over to the beach and just kind of enjoy the day while the weather lasts. Welcome back. Well, we're almost into September now, which means October's right around the corner, and with October here in the Daytona area comes Biketoberfest. So all the local biker bars, restaurants, and all the itinerant vendors and everybody will be in town. Seems to me like Biketoberfest is more of a regional thing. I mean, yeah, people come from all over the place, but seems like it's a lot more southeastern US people showing up. Unlike Bike Week, which brings people from all over the world who are into motorcycles. I imagine they probably rent quite a few motorcycles or have friends, or if they're wealthy, who knows, they might even have property. A house here with a garage and a motorcycle tucked away. Must be nice, but hey, I'm never faulting anybody who's made it. There's the ocean down there. There's a hurricane off the coast of Florida right now, but it's way down on the south end. We'll see what it develops into, see if it'll head our way. Time will tell. There's a saying that waiting on a hurricane is kind of like being stalked by a turtle. Unlike a tornado where it comes ripping out of nowhere. Modern times we got plenty of warning and everybody just kind of sits around and wonders where the heck it's going to go. So I was talking earlier about Biketoberfest. I've lived here locally in the Daytona area for I guess about 30 years now, and I've been to Biketoberfest, Bike Week countless times. Whether I had a motorcycle or not, it was always fun to hang out, check out all the motorcycles, go to the dealerships and see all the events they have going on, all the bars having the music and everything. The only other place I've been to that would be considered an event was I've been to Sturgis, but unfortunately it wasn't during the actual event. But I did get the chance to go out there and tour around, check out all the scenery, beautiful roads and parks out there that everybody hits on their motorcycles. I'd like to try to get out there on 2020, which I think is the 80th anniversary of Sturgis, if I recall correctly. It'll be a long haul from Florida, but what the heck, I'm gonna shoot for that. Probably be able to afford it by then. I had to put an air conditioner in my house, which here in Florida is pretty much a necessity. It was a really old unit, so I got a long time out of it. A lot of time out of it. Far more than I should have. But finally I had to sink some money into that, so that took a hit on my bank account, which, as everybody knows, unless you're independently wealthy, which I'm definitely not, that sets back your motorcycle buying and your motorcycle events. And so we'll shoot for August of 2020 Sturgis to see if I can make it out there. Until then, we'll just putz around Florida. There's all kinds of stuff going on around here usually, just not as big as the major events. Just kind of curious, out of all my viewers, I mean, there's people from all over the US, even places like Brazil and France, up near the, kind of like up near the Ardennes area. I remember a couple of people from up that way. So we got people from all over. What kind of events do you guys go to? There's a North Turn restaurant, and that little beach ramp there is where the motorcycle and the car races used to come flying up off the beach onto the up onto the paved surface, back when the Daytona area still had beach racing as opposed to stadium racing. But anyway, I digress. Like I was saying before, like, what kind of events do you guys go to? Your local, regional, and national events? Be interested to see what you think of them. Pros, cons. As always, just keep it civil. Keep the politics out of it. That's one thing I noticed on another motorcycle, another motorcyclist themed YouTube channel. The guy posted a video, and there was something in the background that he was using as a prop and a symbolism, and everybody got all bent out of shape about it. And that's one thing that, even though I tend to be a little bit of a political person, to put it mildly, it's one thing I do is I keep politics out of this channel and stay focused on motorcycles, because that's what brings everybody together, and God knows that's what this country and the world needs, is more togetherness and less animosity and less trying to find differences. You know, like, I don't even, speaking of differences, I don't even care what kind of motorcycle you ride. If you enjoy motorcycles and you like seeing videos about travel, well, then hit my channel up. You know, people that like to travel and are interested in motorcycles, share this channel with other people. I'd appreciate it. If you're coming here for Biketoberfest or Bike Week, I've got a whole bunch of videos I took back when the channel first started, earlier this year. Rides for the Bike Week and Biketoberfest Daytona area. Bars, restaurants, events, things like that are all in them, with some information, helpful tips, you know, how to get around a little easier, where to park rather than wandering around wasting your time when you could be enjoying things. So anyway, keep the politics out of the channel, keep the animosity between sport bikers and cruisers and Harley and this and that. Just keep it all about motorcycles, all about events, travel, things like that. I love that house. I bet that thing's several $1 million. It's right on the beach. It's kind of got that Texas stone look on the exterior. Relatively new here in town. This part of Daytona is super high-end, high value homes and real estate, but it's pretty down here. So just make sure you watch your speed, because the speed limit down this way is 35, and cops don't play. They'll pull you over. This here is the south turn of the beach racing circuit from back in the early 1900s. And back in the day, I think I mentioned before in one of my other videos, my stepfather in the mid to late 40s and early 50s used to ride down here on his motorcycle with his friends back before I-95 existed, and they would ride all the way down here from the Washington DC area where they grew up and where I grew up to watch motorcycle races and NASCAR races on the beach back before the age of the big stadiums. Here's another thing down here in Ponce Inlet. This place here on the right, it's hard to see because of the foliage. Marine Science Center. If you happen to bring your family down here and your kids, they'll enjoy it. There's birds and turtles and other wildlife that's being rehabbed here. And it's not that expensive to get into. Over here on the right is the Ponce Inlet Lighthouse. It's been around since 1887. It's the tallest lighthouse in Florida, and I think it's the second tallest on the east coast of the United States. And over here is a critter fleet, charter boat fishing. They have half and full day excursions. And over here is the Hidden Treasure restaurant. The same people own a couple of them. It's popular during Bike Week and Biketoberfest and all throughout the summer especially. Parasailing over there. Let me make a U-turn. I'm going to go back on Sailfish. It's a dirt road that's down along the river. Sailfish Drive down here. It's old school Florida. This gateway you see here, there's a really old house back in there. It used to be a boarding house back in the 1800s, back in there. It's closed though, you can't go to it. It's chained off. But they just recently, the Lighthouse Association just recently, they got under contract to purchase it from the people who had bought it, but wound up not being able to do what they wanted to do with it. So that hopefully that'll be taken care of soon. Over here on the left is Passetti Cemetery. The earliest settlers of this area, European settlers anyway. They're all buried in there. A lot of nice places back in here. My kids used to call that the Jurassic Park house back when they were little. That one on the right back there. Back in the woods on the left is a what they call a midden, where the Native Americans for centuries used to dump all their waste from cooking, and they'd even bury people in there. They were talking about developing it a while back, but because of local ordinances and stuff, that didn't pan out. Fortunately and unfortunately, however you want to look at it. All right. We'll turn down here on Beach Street. And down here is Down the Hatch restaurant. There's a couple little museum over there, small local cemetery over there, boat yards and docks. And that's Down the Hatch over there. Down the Hatch was damaged 2 years in a row by Hurricane Michael and Irma. It was really sad to see when they came and they got the second whack. The nice thing about it is when they rebuilt it, they really did a great job on it. So if you're looking for a place on the river, watch the sunset, and grab a drink and something to eat, it's a good place to check out. Up ahead here is Inlet Harbor Road, and You can either, up near Atlantic Avenue there on the right, you can either go to Jerry's Tiki Hut and Pizza Parlor, or you can come down here to the west all the way towards the river, and you can hit Off the Hook at Inlet Harbor. In past years, this boat rack you see in front of us was bent sideways by a hurricane, and some of the boats that weren't moved prior to the hurricane's arrival wound up getting launched off the rack and thrown into the mangroves in the river. And it looks like a big storm's coming there, speaking of storms, off there in the distance. This is Off the Hook at Inlet Harbor, another nice place on the beach to hit if you want to watch the sunset. They were totally devastated by Hurricane Matthew a few years ago, and they've since rebuilt. Really nice looking place now. Did a good job on that. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and call it a video, and hope that you guys enjoyed the quick tour around Ponce Inlet. I've got to get on the road and get to work. Unfortunately, I still have to work like most people. So if you like the content and you enjoy my other videos, I'd appreciate it if you could subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, share the videos with friends who you think might enjoy them. Take care, have a great day, ride safe, wear your helmet. Later.